Kaizer Chiefs has announced that Molefi Ntseki is going to be taking over the reins of the Kaizer Chiefs. He's going to be the captain of the ship, as they've actually mentioned. He's going to be a head coach at Kaizer Chiefs moving into the new season. Abantu bakwatile, everyone is angry, mixed emotions, nabo affections, abo pro mangete, anti mangete. Everyone is just confused. The football fraternity, everyone is talking about it. So why not? The channel as well on the podcast, we're going to be talking about it today and looking at a few interesting things and also being able to cover what actually happened. Why didn't we expect this? Because all we know is that Tunabi is coming, Nabi Ball, and all these things. It was exciting things, and also we're going to be covering what it means for Kaizer Chiefs moving forward. Hello, welcome back again. Hello, guys. Hello to everyone who has been supporting the channel. Please do continue doing that. Do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to also click on that notification bell. Whenever we drop a video, you'd be the first one to know. So, yeah, guys, where to start, man? It's interesting, as always, when it comes to Kaizer Chiefs and in being able to understand what exactly are they thinking in regards to the certain decisions that they've taken. And let's just dive into it without wasting any time. So, for me, if I were to give you my 2 cents, I was a bit upset, to be fair and to be honest. As a sports fan, as a Kaizer Chiefs fan, for me it was a bitter pill to swallow. But at the very same time, I am a pro Mangete, funny enough. But I am not happy at the same time with. I didn't believe he had enough to give us the results that he needed. But at the same time, there was a bit of hope with maybe if he stays as the head coach next season, maybe with especially with the recruitments that they've actually brought in, there would be some sort of light at the end of the tunnel. But I did mention one thing to be honest is that look, Kaizer Chiefs needs a second assistant or someone who's knowledgeable about the game. I was not thinking about Umtseki, but we were looking for something. And with the move that they've made now, we can't really change much. So for me, it doesn't help to dwell on the negatives. Ngiyabona abantu ku-Twitter bayathandaza, bayakhala, people are bagxeka the Kappa Chasey. So look, there's not much we can do. We can only focus on what it means for the club. And for me, I just prepared a few notes that I wanted to tackle with you guys, just to focus on the reality that it is, regardless of if you agree with it or not. So let's start with the positives and looking at the fact that how could it benefit the Kaizer Chiefs from my point of view, and why could they be thinking when they've actually said, okay, sharp, let's go for Unseki, even if probably was it an option even before they started profiling other coaches. So what I see here is they've kept Atazwan as the first assistant. Dylan Shepard will be serving as the second assistant. So it only can say to us as fans that they're looking for that continuity and a bit of familiarity. Sorry, in a sense that um, the players that they already have and the players that are recruiting, they don't want to shake the boat too much because the technical area is the most important area before you can profile any coaches or you can profile anyone who's going to be leading that team. You have to focus on the technical team before you even bring in players. So maybe it was a thought that we didn't even know or it wasn't even reported. Maybe they already had discussed it way before, but they just didn't want to publicly humiliate Uzwane, maybe because um, with them having faith in him, maybe that's one of the ways of being able to show which they still want him on board. They just want obviously a way because it was only also going to be challenging to have Unteki be an assistant to Uzwane, having to have maybe because of his CV, having worked with the national team and Uzwane was serving as an assistant. Maybe that's the kind of challenge. But those are the positive I see. Oh, it's okay, sharp. You guys are saying to us, you don't want to compromise the style of play. You don't want to compromise the project philosophies that comes with the project in the sense where it's either the players that you've recruited, the young players you've developed. And remember, Ntseki was serving as the head of e-development and recruitment, I think, for young players. No, it's not recruitment, but it's development and something I just forgot. So that's the only positive I see on that side. And hey, with having Uzwane as well, having to have worked under Ntseki under the national team as an assistant to him. So they've worked within those structures before. So maybe their working relationship also, it's not new to them. So maybe that's one of the positives, part of the negotiations in the sense where, okay, this is what we can go for, looking at the technical area. So for me, that's the only positive I can come up with and understand and research maybe to understand. Okay, sharp. What is Kaizer Chiefs thinking? What is Usinia, Kaizer is thinking? And also, they both have a hand in the kind of players that have been developed. Ntseki, since he was appointed, obviously as Kuma development structures, they've had good success. Let's not really. I know a lot of people are not privy to that, but when it comes to the development structures, they've made strides. They've really been doing good in that era. It's just the transition from them coming from the development structures and transitioning them to the first team. So Uzwane as well, he's been instrumental. He started with TTC or a multi-choice in the with young players. Some of these players we see today, whether he was the coach who started with them, but he was been there for so long. So he's part of the process in a sense. He's familiar with these young players. So with having young players, obviously quite a lot in the first team, maybe as well, that's something they're looking into in terms of who can be able to come in and also help these players to have a better transition in the national team, also in the first team of the Kaizer Chiefs. That's the only thing I can think of. But on the downside, what is the challenge that presents the system or the technical team that they've now chosen? They both haven't won anything domestically. That we can both agree on. Uatazwane, as you know, it was his first season as a head coach. Even when he was an assistant, he didn't really win anything. Ntseki as well. Domestically, I think would be his first time actually having to head coached a domestic team, apart from him having to be a caretaker manager in the national team. So you understand that the dynamics, national team, there's less time there. Domestic football, you are there every day. So that's the one thing that I foresee that is going to give him the problem. Another thing is that Uzwane could be scorned. He could be, yes, it looks on the surface, looks nice, it's okay, sharp. But we don't know what are the conversations that he had to accept that he has to now be demoted. Because that's a demotion straight up. It's not about him, humbly going down. We don't know. But obviously, him being there for a long time, probably there was a way. And who knows? Maybe it's a financial decision at the same time from him, for his side, and from Kaizer Chiefs' side. So that's one of the things that they could lose the dressing room if results don't show. And remember, Zwane, he's been accused of sabotage. So that could be one of the reasons why maybe they couldn't click now. Yes, they've worked with each other before, but we don't know now the current situation because you're a head coach. You can only think what's been going through your mind. And the style of play. So the style of play here also could be compromised because for me, Ntseki was an assistant to Pax in the national team, then he took over. So now you have a situation where we don't know how he plays. I for one don't. The last matches, now we don't know the kind of players that he was profiling or bringing to the national team. You guys will tell me, leave your comments and leave your opinions in the comment section. And would it click or would it be aligned with Uzwane? Because now that's where we want to know, is he going to continue with passing football and it is going to apply to the players that they've currently recruited. So that's one of the things I feel it could be a major blow on their side. Number two, or the last point I'd like to leave you with in terms of the disadvantages or the negatives, is the fact that he could be a plan B. Molefi Ntseki could have been a plan B. It could have been the fact that now it was a rash decision because now the Nabi negotiations broke down. And If that's the case, that is not a good indication at all, because that can only lead to his disaster. Now, if you could look at his record, okay, looking head to head as a coach, at what could have been the motivation behind Ntseki, is the fact that now Ntseki only managed 9 games in the national team. We know the national team don't play much games, but it's only 9 games that he had a hand in. He only won 4 out of those 9. And he has a 44% win ratio, if you had to call it. So really, to really say that this coach Ntseki is justified enough for them to say that they are willing to give him a shot, that's a red flag for me. That's very dangerous for a brand like Kaizer Chiefs. So I don't understand that move, to be fair with you guys. But you can only give it a chance because that's the only thing that we have. And lastly, I want to be able to just leave you with this. Why did the negotiations ever now be breakdown? Because we don't really know. I was watching a lot of radio news. It's okay, what could have gone down? Because my thinking is the fact that it's possible that Uzwane has a good relationship with Tusina. They believe in him and they appreciate the loyalty that probably has because of him being with the club for so long. And Unabi wanted to come with his own technical team. I don't think it's about the money, because he never would have been in his radar if they thought they couldn't afford him. It's the fact that probably his him not wanting Uzwane as an assistant could have been the deal breaker, and him having to, or them having to think about Dylan Shepard now, they have to let go or buy him out because maybe he still has a contract under the Kaizer Chiefs. And also the fact that he wanted to come with his own goalkeeper coach, because now, funny enough, there could be truth in those reports, because they've also recruited their legend, who I forgot his name, because now Reina Dineleka. Yes, Reina Dineleka is the guy that is a strategic advisor in the goalkeeping department. So we can only agree. For me, it feels like yes, there was those negotiations, and probably they wanted their own take, because maybe Unabi, direction that's not maybe something that they wanted to go with. So that's the only logical reason I can foresee if they were not really happy with him, because he comes, his CV is heavy, and maybe he felt that it was enough, or it was justified enough for him to have such demand. So that's the only thing esingayicabanga. But like I said, please guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and also share it with your friends. And also, let's keep the conversation going. Whatever you think, you can leave in the comment. Let's have the discussion. Tell me what you think. Do you agree with Ntseki? Because I know a lot of people are angry about it. Or don't you guys, or you guys feel like Kaizer Chiefs is not going anyway? Are we now been reduced to just a top 18? That's all I have for you for you guys today. See you guys on the following episode. We drop videos each and every week. Bye for now.